In the other video, I mentioned about Charlie Munger talking about don't go near where you may die. And Ikkyu talking about don't think that your life will last forever on a New Year's Eve in Kyoto hundreds of years ago. This is the continuation of that thought. The point is not just conceptually understand and conceptually find a way. I don't think that's, well, that may be good, but it can be better. The difference of good and better in this case is that good is just following some kind of a protocol people come up with, and you just follow. And of course, you can go to the hospital as needed and things can be taken care of. So that's one level, which could be already good compared to, say, 100, 200,000 years ago, whatever. But what makes a difference, in my view, is the intuitive sense of choosing what's good and bad, which way to go or not. What I mean is that we are a biological being, and there's that sense of things to take care of on its own if you let them alone. Like cut the finger and don't mess up with, scratching or anything, just leave it alone, but keep it clean. The cells around that area organize by themselves to heal. Not always, if it's the deep cut or something, but like anything. Also, I hear people talking about overcoming cancer because of the spirit, orientation, dedication to find the way out. Maybe it's beyond science, beyond the logic also. And when it happens, I feel there's that biological part of healing enhanced for that to happen. So when I talk about meditation or practice, and I do that, and also sharing of various ideas on YouTube videos, I think where I'm trying to get at is the wisdom and compassion. Wisdom to help yourself and compassion to help yourself and others, and wisdom to help others, of course. And when that happens, that is, like I say, connected to the root of who we are, the reason of why we are here, the nature's way. The nature's way, many scientists trying to figure out the logic, to describe the logic. I think there's a term for that, theory of everything or something like that, as if human can get to that state or AI can get to the state of figuring out, life's process. But I don't think that's quite realistic to think like that. AI is digital. You can refine it and do things so that I don't know if there's a possibility for AI to produce some living being, maybe under certain pressure and the condition and certain element of atoms under certain condition, it may produce living being. Yes, I heard about iPS cell. Some professor in Kyoto, I believe, came up with the idea, and I think he may have gotten Nobel Prize. And there's a professor from Osaka University coming up with that concept applied to have a layer of living cells, so to speak, And it is like heart muscle have that pulse, like heartbeat. I remember way back, maybe 40 years ago, reading an article that if you have heart muscle cell, one after the other, and separate it and put it onto some plate or something, and each of them may be pulsating at certain frequency. But once they get together, that random heartbeat for each become more synchronized. So I saw that experiment on YouTube. Maybe I can put it into description of this professor in Osaka University. So there's the possibility of that living cells being developed, but still the nature's mystery maybe still far, far out to know what it is and for us to benefit from. I could be wrong, as much as I was wrong many times in my life. So this may happen much more quickly, but still, in the meantime, like in my case, and your case too, possibly, to know the nature's way, how it manifests within us. And that, to me, is awakening, to realize that not just confined in the brain to live. It's much wider or deeper dimension that we can access, even to feel like being in nirvana, blissful sensation. And that is the state I feel liveliness is enhanced in our body. And you feel good because you are in zone with the way of universe, so to speak. Flow state, some may call it. But don't think use that as a gimmick is the way to do it. Like trying to use it for your own personal benefit or ego-oriented play. As much as those heart cells work together to vibrate a synchronized manner, I heard the story of somewhere in the Southeast Asia, there's an island and there's a firefly. In the evening, they go this light. And at the beginning, it's random, but as the evening deepens, the whole island starts to vibrate at certain frequency. There are many other examples, but the point of this video is don't take it lightly just to think logical or using the brain can solve most problems. The problem may be defined that when you cannot use by the brain to solve it. It's like a paradox of Zen koan. So awakening is to open up the channel to connect to the core of your being the nature's way. And that's additional, fundamental, life-related process that we can access, and don't go where you may not die, may include such skill or be aware of the connection to the root of our being, if I interpret it in a Zen-like manner. And of course, Ikkyu, the other one with the Kyoto, the story of don't believe that you live forever, is making people to realize don't just depend on the world you construct in the mind is everything. Just realize you may die tomorrow and go beyond the fear or uncomfortableness to realize it is just okay to live connecting to the heart and go with the flow in the peace that you can find, what I call the eternal form that you can relate to. Just a thought, but want it to be more than the thought. What do you think?